Hey friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. Last weekend I made my own business cards, and of course I was talking about it on stories on Instagram, and there was a ton of people that said, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get a laser cutter. Y'all, these are not laser cut business cards. They are made out of metal, they're double-sided, and I used sublimation. That's right, sublimation for these business cards. There's a little bit of a glittery shimmer fleck to it, which I love so much. They're metal, so there's no damaging them, and I am obsessed. So if you have a sublimation printer and you already have Cricut Design Space, you're golden. All you're gonna need to do is buy the little cards. I'll link them down in the description of this video, and that's it. That's all you're gonna have to do. So today what we're going to do is not make business cards because, you don't want to make my own business card. What we're going to make today is Pokemon cards. For my son's 8th birthday, I had to think about it because he watches my videos and he would die if I got his age wrong. But this little kitty right there, on his 8th birthday, I made him some Pokemon cards to hand out to his classmates and stuff. That's what we're going to learn how to do today. And then we'll go to the sublimation station, HTD station, and we'll press them and I'll show you the finished product. It's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so first we need to get onto the computer and do some design work. And it shouldn't take that long, but let's get started. All right, to get started, just open up a blank window in Design Space. You can see I already have my empty canvas. It is white and has nothing going on with it. So once you open up one, go into your Google search and you are going to look up right here, blank Pokemon card. Click on images. And then the trick to this is always finding one that has really good resolution. If you click on the first one and then you kind of hover over the image, you can tell right here it pops up. It's 420 by 590. The more pixels, like this one has 2200 by 3100, the more pixels it has, the clearer the image will print. Because we're only doing really small cards, I mean, these are business card sizes, this little trick it doesn't have a lot of effect to it, but if you start making something that only has 200 pixels and you start making it really big, like a life-size version of it, it will start to get blurry and pixelated. So you have to keep that in mind when you're looking for images on the internet. So I like this blue one. It matches my son's favorite color. All I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to open in a new tab. There is that. It popped on up. Okay, so for me, what I am going to do is I'm going to screenshot my this little thing right here. For me on the Mac, it is Command-Shift-4. This little like doodad aiming eye thing will open up, and I am just going to draw a box around. There it goes, and you can see it popped up here on the right. I'm going to click back into Design Space and go over into Upload, and then press that upload image. If I let this go, it'll disappear on me. Upload image. Okay, right here, it's just drag and drop. So I'm just going to take my Pokemon card and I'm going to drag and drop on there, and then go over here to Complex. If you do simple, it kind of deletes all the colors, as you can tell. So you would want to keep it to complex because we're going to change it into a print and cut image. And then just press continue. Cricut has this new thing where it's removing background. Sometimes it removes what it needs to, and sometimes it removes way too much. Like case in point, I press that button and all of a sudden all this is going on. We don't want that, so we want to go back to just this little arrow and go back. Now what you want to do is just press the select button. I like to go into more options and do the color tolerance up a little higher. Doing that will make sure that it gets really close to the lines that you're deleting and what you're wanting to keep, so you don't have like all those messy little notes. For this particular project, it really doesn't matter because we're not going to use the Cricut machine itself to cut any of this out. We're just using the program. So if you don't want to do this step for this project, you don't have to. Okay, I'm going to, like I said, make the number a little bit higher. And whatever you don't want, we're going to delete. So I don't want this. And then I don't want the white that's around here. And if you think you got it all or whatever, go into the preview cut image. And you can see how everything that I do want is in gray and everything I don't want is gone. And then you can see where the lines are really crisp. And that's exactly what I wanted. And the only way you can get that is if you bump up that color tolerance. So go into apply and continue. And we're going to save this as a print and cut image. And then go up here and I'm just going to name it Blue Pokemon Card. That'll help for later on down the road if you go to try and find this image in Design Space. You'll be able to just put in the name and it'll pop up for you. And then press upload. I can't really, I'm going to try not to lie here and say I never name my stuff. It's always like a scavenger hunt for me. So if you're like me, don't name your stuff. If you don't want to be like me, name your stuff. Okay, so then we're going to go back into our Google. Because on the business cards, which is the same thing as a regular Pokemon card, you have a front and you have a back. So we want the back of the Pokemon card. So opening up another Google page, you can just go back into your original one, but opening up another one and do Pokemon card backside, which is going to be the backside of the Pokemon card. Again, same thing as the first time, is you're just going to find one that you like. This one right here has somebody's like Atomic Monkey. That's his artwork. I mean, you could use that if you wanted to. I would too. No, I'm not going to. I'm not going to use it. I was going to try and hide it, but then I said, forget it. I'm just going to keep looking to see. This one's good. No, it's not good. Halad. That one. Oh, see how small that is? And it's actually pretty good pixelated, but it's like it's a lot. It's counting at all this white, so you don't want that one. That one seems to be a little bit better. What about this one? This one seems okay. Okay, so I don't really like that one either. I like this one. We're going to choose this one. Okay, oops, darn it. Go back. Right click on that, open up in a new tab. And then same process, screenshot that. And then go over into Design Space, click the upload image and drag that in. Clicking complex again and press continue and doing the same process that you just did. I almost did not name this Pokemon backside. I almost did not name this. Like I said before, I hardly ever do I name any of my stuff. Okay, so inside of a Pokemon card, and I wish I had one to show you, but inside a Pokemon card right here in this like little white area, there's always a picture of a Pokemon or a character or something, right? So we want that. I have already sent over one of my pictures of my cute little Scuba Steve. So we are going to put that in there, and all I'm going to do is go into upload image. Like I said, I already sent one of my pictures to my computer. It's this one right here. Oh my gosh, he's so stinking cute. I'm going to squeeze his little cheeks. Okay, going into complex, doing the same thing as before, and we're just going to continue. I'm going to leave it the way that it is because I can crop it later. But look at how cute my Scuba Steve is. Okay, press continue on your picture and then just make sure and do the print and cut. I'm not going to name it because I don't need to. And press upload. Okay, so essentially that is it. That's all you're going to have to upload into Design Space. And then it's just like the Design Space work or designing work. You're going to want to click 1, 2, and 3. All 3 of the things that you uploaded into Design Space, click on those, and then press Add to Canvas. Okay, now, next for this, I don't actually have a ruler in my office, which is mind-blowing to a lot of people, but whoops, I sent it with a paper order one time, and I just have not, I'm like punishing myself for doing that, so I haven't bought another one. Okay, so once you get the cards in the mail, these ones, you want to take a tape measure and you want to measure. It is about 2 plus 2 ticks. 2 and, is that tenths? I don't know. 2 ticks. This is where I'm going to show my real knowledge. 2 and 2 tenths. So just go into shapes and, oh, okay. I was going to say no shapes are found. And then you want the square. Do the little unlock button. Okay. So the width of this is 2 and 2 ticks, but I want to do 2 and 3 because you're going to want a little bit of overhang, and it'll help you in the future when we're pressing these to have a little bit of bleed to that. So we're going to do 2.3. Anyway, so for these tags, I have printed them 3.4 inches in height, and then 2.19 in width. There we go. Okay. Now that I have got myself all situated and less flustered, we are going to copy and paste both of these. And we're going to get 2 of them. One for the front, one for the back. And, oops. I just want to align them to the top. Why? You don't have to. Okay, then I am going to arrange and send these to the back. I am going to change this because the left is going to be the front side, and I'm going to change it to match up this yellow right here. So I am going to just click this yellow, and I'm just going to drag it. It now is blocking my way, that little box. Go into advanced. That's fine. And I'm just going to try and match it up just a little bit. You shouldn't have a whole lot of bleed or overhang for this, but it would be helpful if you did it this way, just so you don't cut off any of the image. Ooh, that was a good match. Because you don't want to cut off any of the image. That's a good match. So I'm going to drag this, I'm going to make it smaller. And again, you're going to want to create just a little bit of bleed and overhang for it. And you can tell how the business card itself is a little bit more of a rectangle than the actual file. So just unclick this. Now, I don't really suggest doing this for anything, but because this is such a small little card, it's fine and it doesn't distort the image. When you start playing around with the image and making it extremely big, you can tell that you've distorted it, and then it kind of looks bad in my opinion. Okay. So there is that. That's your front side. Same thing with the back. We're going to take this back, click on that gray box, and we're going to try and match it up as close as possible. And actually that black seemed to be really, or that dark blue seems to match really well. Same thing. You just want to make it fit with a little bit of bleed. If you go into here, you can kind of see, let me zoom in. You can kind of see that there is like the image itself, right, is not as big as the yellow box, and that's just so you can create an overhang with a bleed. So same thing that we're going to do with here is just unlock that and kind of make it to where it is just a little bit smaller than the actual card itself, and then select both and center. Did I do that with this one? Just to make sure. Center. Nope, I didn't. Okay. See this little box right here and how it has like a little bit of a curvature? That would be almost impossible to like fit this if I were to go, let me make this like way smaller. Okay. If I were to put this in here, you would have to have like the perfect size. And I mean, it looks all right. Let me see. We're going to send this to the back of the blue. Oop, too far. That's all right. And I do like that. But what I actually want is like the little squishy squish to be more front and center like that. And you see how there is just too much going on. way too much, right? So what you're going to do is we'll move him. We're going to click on that card and copy and paste it. If you do that and it's a print and cut image, you cannot come over here and contour. I don't actually want it to be a print and cut image, which is fine. So what I'm going to do is go to print and cut and then click basic. When I do that, this button pops up for contour. Click that, and what I'm going to click is the large portion because I really just want this. I want to put this onto this, slice him, and then put him in place, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this where it needs to go so it's perfectly aligned. Go back over into my Scoob, and let me hide that for a second. Okay, I'm going to rearrange him to where it's perfect for me and how I want him to be. So I want more of his face, and we're just going to put him like that. Okay, unclick that blue box. Do you see how his face disappeared? That's fine. If you click the blue box, press shift, and then click on the picture itself, these will pop up. Press slice. Then you want to delete the gray box. You want to delete the outside. You see how like now his face is missing from that picture? Delete that, and now you're left with his cutie little face. So cute. Okay, if we go closer into this thing, you see how there's like this small little box right here? Generally, that's with like another picture of the character in the real Pokemon cards. So I'm going to go into shapes and get a circle. I guess I could have clicked the oval, but it's fine. And then we're just going to make this small, and we're just kind of unlock and squishing around, moving around a little bit to where it'll fit on side of that thing. Okie dokie. And then now that we have that, we're going to go into the picture that we just created of the Scoob, copy and paste that, slide it over, and this one over. I'm going to bring it to the front, click back on that picture, and make him small. And you want his face to fit in that small little oval. We're almost there. And you know, you probably don't need to do this step, but just details for me matter. So of course, if there's a small little gray little circle, I'm going to put something in it. Okay, so now that he's like super small, he looks like he's going to be all in that little oval. Selecting both and pressing slice again. Then you're going to delete what you don't need. And you're left with a small little oval circle, and we're just going to put him right there. That's perfect. Okay, so for the inside of this, generally in a Pokemon card, they have like powers. Let's look at Pokemon card. They have like powers, images. We go to this one. So like this character, whatever his name is, Charizard. Okay, he has all these like things, right? Description of who he is or what he's doing, stuff like that. You're going to want to do that as well. So then all you have to do, and this is like super easy, is just go into the text box and just start typing. Oops. Am I doing it right? They don't have spell check in this, so I'm going to make it small so it'll fit in my box so I don't have to keep moving around. Scuba Steve. And I'm going to do a new line. Okay, I'm only going to do this because that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do another line. And love, Mom. I'm going to add a heart to it in a little bit. Okay, so there's that. You can go ahead and change it to any font that you want. I'm going to do a black. So I clicked all three of them. Just click black. And make sure and put this to a print and then cut. Did you see how it went from like a really bold font and then it went to like a skinnier font? That's kind of how I want it to look. So we're going to do that and bring that over. I'm going to click a little shape and do a heart. And I'm going to make it red. And I'm going to turn that into a print and cut just so it has softer lines. And I'm going to make it small. Perfect. Want to make sure that it is like centered horizontally. So I'm going to click both of those and go into center vertically. Okay. And then press group. Now I want to make sure that all 3 of these text boxes are centered. So I'm going to click all 3 of my text box. And then I'll also click on the card itself just to make sure it's centered with the card. And then press center. So now it's there horizontally. Look at how cute this card's going to be. And you know, I keep looking at this thing and I don't like it. If you were to print this, you would get that small little white line. And then when we go to press it, you'll see that line. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this card to be a little bit bigger than the box. Just so. Yep, that's fine. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is by selecting both of that, I'm going to slice it and delete what you don't want, which is exactly what we did before. Okay, look, and now we're left with a perfectly square card, which is what we're going to want here in the near future. Okay, and then for this right here, we just want to flatten it. Okay, now instead of going into make it, if we did make it and we put it over here, you would, for me and Design Space, you can't get that many cards on a sheet. If we go up into like 3, see how it wants to then put 1 on the second page. And actually, I know I could get way more than that on a sheet. To take it out of Design Space, you can't save your files in Design Space, unfortunately. So taking it out of Design Space, I mean, once you do it a couple times, you kind of know what you're doing. But all you need to do is open up a word processor. I already have a blank page opened up right here. And I'm going to zoom out for you. Whoa, that was way too far. We'll zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Okay, there we go. And here are the 2 cards that we have, the front and the back. We need to take these pictures and put it over into this Page's word processor thing so we can rearrange them and fit more on a page. What you're going to want to do is the same process that you did when we took the screenshots of the Pokemon cards and put them into Design Space. Same process. We're going to screenshot. Make sure when you do this that you're kind of zoomed in as close as possible so you get the best screenshot pixelation. If you're zoomed out like this and you try and take a screenshot, it's going to be one of those low numbered resolution screenshots, and you don't want that. So we want to make sure that we are zoomed in as close as possible to our screen so where everything is crisp and clear. And then all you want to do is take another screenshot, get as close to that box as possible with your little arrow tool. There it is, and it's opened up. Open up your word processor and drag this one over into your word processor. Here it is, and it's big. Don't worry, we're gonna resize them. Same thing with the Pokemon card. We wanna go in and screenshot, getting as close as possible to that blue box. And print, there you go. And drag it over into word processor. Okay. Going back into Design Space, remember those dimensions that you did originally in Design Space, the 2.19 by 3.14. That's exactly what you want to do here. So we want to go into Arrange for Me, and we want to make sure that we have that one clicked, and we want to make it width. What do we want it? 2.19. And it should always, if you did it right in Design Space, it should like correlate back over to your word processor the same as sizes. This one, it's like 3.39, which is like, it's just so close. But we're going to just click that, and I'm going to make it 3.4. Okay, and then same thing with scoobs. We're gonna go into here and we're gonna go 2.19 by 3.4. Okay, and we're gonna, I think for these ones, I turn these 90 degrees. Turn these 90 degrees. And I'm gonna press group. Oop, let me ungroup that. Make sure it's aligned to the top. Oh, okay. Press group again. And when you group it in the word, why did it do that? Group, I don't know why it readjusted its size. That's annoying. Let's see here. Automatic, none. Stay on page, group. Copy and paste. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, it's fine. Generally, it doesn't do that, but that's really annoying. No matter what, you can just copy and paste and did you see that? It kept resizing it, and now it's not resizing it. Okay. Anyway, moving on, and I am just going to copy and paste. So now you can tell on a 8.5 by 11, what originally we only could get, let's see if we go back over in here. Originally in Design Space, you could only get 2, 4, 5 cards on a page. For my word processor, we can get, what is that, 8? Then you're saving a whole lot of paper and frustration. So that's why I put mine over into Design Space Plus. The whole point of doing this project is that you didn't have to use the machines. This is all just design and sublimate. Okay, so now that you do this, I don't have my computer. I don't have my sublimation printer hooked up to my computer. So I'm gonna have to send this over to my laptop and then send it to my sublimation printer. I know, long process. It's ridiculous. So all you need to do when you are printing a sublimation, if you are a pro at sublimation print, then you will know that when you go and print this, you need to print it on, let me just go into this one. Oh, look, it's right here. Nearby printers. Let's see if it prepares itself. It says it works. All right. Okay. So we're going to try it. We're going to go into pages and then media quality. When you do a sublimation print, always use the photo matte paper. That's going to go into your best, and then go into layout and flip horizontally. Don't forget to flip. It's like weeding HTV or cutting HTV. If you don't flip or mirror, you will have a bad decal. So same thing with sublimation print. Don't forget to print in flip. Okay? All right. So I am going to print this. We'll see if it works on my tank, and then I will be back so we can finish up this project. Here is the final print. It looks dull and the colors don't look accurate. Don't be scared. All sublimation prints will look like this, but that is the final print. Try not to put your grubby little hands on that. For me, I am going to only do one card because I don't need to, but what you need to do is you're going to cut this in half because you're going to do one side at a time. Also, just a reminder, if you are at this step and you are doing it with me, make sure and turn your heat press on and have it start heating up so you don't have to wait around for it to heat up. Okay, same thing with these little cards right here. Try not to put your fingers on the cards too much. An optional thing, which I do highly suggest, is some heat resistant tape because you don't want this sliding around. But all you want to do is it'd probably be easier if I had this to me. Take your little card and line up as easy as possible. Like, it shouldn't be too hard because we did a quick, really good little square to it. But you want to put it in the center of your box. And just put some heat resistant tape around it so it doesn't slide around when you take it over into your heat press. Okay, and I am going to just trim because like I said, I'm only going to do one card. Okay, if you are doing multiple cards, then just keep going and keep pressing, just keep lining this up into your boxes. And then you're only going to do one side for right now. That's it. That's what you're going, this is what you're going to take to the heat press, is just this. While I continue to wait for my heat press to get heated up, I'm also going to take a little piece of like parchment paper. This is actually not parchment paper, it's like craft paper. And I'm just gonna cut a little bit off. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Like that. See how it's just a little bit bigger? And I'm going to put the card that doesn't have any of the print down on the paper itself with the sublimation print side up. When you put this into the heat press, the sublimation is going to be to your heated plate. So it's gonna go in just like that. The reason for this is that if there's any type of ink overlay hanging over, it'll get onto your sublimation or on your heat press mat and then ruin it. Okay, let's wait for the heat press to heat up and then we'll take this over to the heat press. The heat press is finally heated up. I have it set to 370, 75. I don't know why it keeps jumping up in temp, but it's actually 375 for 46 seconds. All I'm doing is putting this right here. Remember, here's the card, here's the piece of paper with the sublimation on top. So paper, sublimation print on top. This is why that tape comes in handy, because did you see how I was manhandling it? I'm gonna press this down and then press that play button. When this is done doing what it needs to do, it's going to beep, and make sure and take this off. The print itself is going to be very hot. Remember, we are doing a metal card, so it's going to be hot to the touch. Be careful. And I like to be a bomb detonator and press the button, stop before it even makes a noise. Okay. Taking this back over to the table so we can peel, let it cool, and then peel, and then work on the second side. It doesn't take too many minutes for it to cool, and I mean actually maybe only takes like 30 seconds for it to cool. All you want to do is peel off the front. Oh my goodness. Make sure that you take all the tape off. There's nothing left on the back. If you leave any tape on the back, it will not sublimate on your card. And then ready? Boom, look at that. How cool. Okay, the back is still unfinished. Going back over into your sublimation print. Again, I'm just going to take one off because I'm only doing one. And I am going to just make sure that what you're getting to put down on your print is the blank version. If you put this onto this, you're going to sublimate this onto this, and that's not what you want. So we are going to put the blank side down, same process as before, line it up and center it as much as possible using a little bit of tape. To hold this in place. There you go. Now, if you don't want to waste paper, which I'm not going to, on the sublimation, that piece of paper that I cut out, you can see how there is a little bit of yellow. That is like your bad side because you've already used it. Make sure and turn it around so this is the side that you haven't used yet, and put your already finished card on top of that so the sublimation print is on top. Now let's take this back over into the heat press and we'll finish heating this up, and then we'll have a finished card. Back over here at the heat press. Same times as before, we want to put the sublimation print side up with that piece of paper side down. Just want to make sure, yep, it's perfectly centered on that little blue area. Just going to do that. Put that into our heat press, press down, and press play. Okay, it's done. We're gonna slide that over. We're going to get the card. Remember, this is hot. Don't touch it. Let it cool down for a second. Now that it's cooled down to the touch, we are just going to peel this off. Look at that. Oh my goodness, y'all, look. How cool is this? So here is the back side, and here is the front side, and oh my gosh, perfect. So now we have a front and back. I hope you can see this glitter and the shimmer that's in these cards. I absolutely love them. But hopefully this helped you all and you can make your own business cards. The same thing that I did for these is exactly how I did my own business card. Same steps. Hopefully you love these cards. All right, y'all, I will see you later.